It was a warm summer night in Beverly Hills on August 20th, 1989. The luxurious mansion on Elm Drive stood silent under the glow of the moonlight. Inside, a tragedy was about to unfold that would stun the entire nation. Lyle and Erik Menendez, two brothers aged 21 and 18, crept through the quiet halls of their family home. They carried shotguns, their hearts racing with a mix of fear and determination. The door to their parents' bedroom creaked open, and in a flurry of chaos and deafening gunshots, their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, were gone. 15 shots echoed through the mansion, breaking the stillness of the night. The brothers later made a frantic call to emergency services, their voices trembling with shock. "We need help. Our parents have been killed," they cried, their words echoing in the dispatcher's ears. The police arrived to find a gruesome scene. The once pristine bedroom was now a horrifying crime scene. Jose and Kitty Menendez lay lifeless, their bodies riddled with bullets. Investigators searched for clues, piecing together the events of the night. At first, Lyle and Erik were treated as grieving sons. Their tears and shock seemed genuine. The community mourned with them, unable to comprehend such a brutal act. But as the days turned into weeks, cracks began to form in their stories. Witnesses reported seeing the brothers shopping for luxury items just days after their parents' deaths. Rolex watches, expensive suits, and even a Porsche. Their sudden spree of extravagance raised eyebrows. Investigators began to wonder, were these two grieving, or were they hiding something sinister? By the time the case reached the courts, the story had taken a dramatic turn. Lyle and Erik admitted to killing their parents, but claimed it was an act of desperation. They painted a horrifying picture of life inside the Menendez home, alleging years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse at the hands of their father. "We lived in constant fear," Erik testified, his voice shaking. "That night, we thought he was going to kill us." The courtroom was captivated. On one side, the prosecution argued that the brothers were greedy and wanted to inherit their parents' fortune. On the other, the defense depicted them as broken young men pushed to the edge. The media dubbed it the trial of the century. Public opinion was divided. Some saw the brothers as cold-blooded killers, while others sympathized, believing them to be victims who had snapped under unbearable pressure. In the end, the jury was unconvinced by the defense's arguments. Lyle and Erik Menendez were found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Justice, it seemed, had been served. For decades, the Menendez brothers languished in prison, their names synonymous with betrayal and brutality. But as the years passed, society began to change. Conversations about trauma, abuse, and mental health became more nuanced. In 2024, whispers of a review began to circulate. New evidence had come to light, suggesting that the brothers' claims of abuse might have been more credible than initially believed. Prosecutors and advocates called for a reassessment of their sentences, arguing that the legal system in the 1990s had failed to consider the psychological toll of sustained abuse. Interviews with experts and activists filled the airwaves. The Menendez brothers were not innocent, one advocate said, but their actions were not as simple as greed. They were shaped by years of trauma. The news reignited public interest in the case. Protests and debates erupted across the country. Outside courthouses, people held signs that read, "Justice for the Menendez brothers." Others countered with, "Murderers deserve life." Television and social media buzzed with speculation. Could the brothers' sentences be reduced? Should they be given a second chance? The nation was once again divided, just as it had been decades earlier. Inside the prison walls, Lyle and Erik Menendez awaited their fate. Their case was now more than a crime story. It was a reflection of changing societal values. As the review moved forward, one question remained: was justice served, or had the system failed? The Menendez case reminds us that the truth is rarely simple. Behind every act of violence lies a web of human complexities, and sometimes the hardest questions have no easy answers. The case of Lyle and Erik Menendez is currently under review. What do you think? Should their sentences be reconsidered, or is their punishment just